initially heard of the events that took place in Charlottesville, Virginia, I immediately was like, just the social media storm that ensued afterwards. I reflected on that and I'm like, we're missing a big point, missing a huge point. And I was getting ready for church last Sunday and I was like, God, what are we missing? Like, I feel like I have something to say, but I don't want them to be my words. They have to come from you. And what do you want to say? And as I reflected on that, he called me to a memory that literally changed my childhood. My parents, I was not raised Christian, although my parents were activists in their spirit. They were raising 2 black children in a very racially charged environment, and made me aware at a very young age what race was, what racism was, and how it could potentially affect my life. But my parents didn't stop there. They wanted to change the framework in which their kids were going to be raised. So they founded a group called the Healing for the Institute of Racism. They marched for everything: world peace, unity, hunger, any of the atrocities in this world they were marching for. And when I was 8 years old, I got to participate in the first march, and I was so excited because they even asked me to hold the banner. And I was like, hey, yeah, I'll be at the front, woo! And the march was organized to march a couple of city blocks and then kind of route into a walking path that led to a community festival at the end. And this particular weekend, we were marching for unity. And there was a unity festival for the community and anybody who had participated, similar to an outreach. So the march starts, we're off to a good start, through the city blocks, onto the walking path. Now, it's interesting now, because it almost looked like a valley. There's hills on both sides, and a flat walking path in between. And there's green for as far as the eyes can see, because we were in Florida, not Arizona. And we're walking, and I'm just so excited. All seems to be going well, and off in the distance, my 8-year-old eyes could not make sense of what I was seeing. There's a flood of white coming down the hill. I'm like, what is that? Keep walking, press on. And I see men, well, I assume they're men, in hoods and gowns. It's the KKK. And right about that time, off on the other side, there is a group of black men in militant uniforms and red berets. They come down the hill and stand in a military formation. And the march comes to a complete stop. And all the adults come rushing forward, and my mom grabs me and she whirls me back to the back of the line, and there's cars. I didn't even know there was cars that were following us. And she sits me in the car and I said, why? I knew who the KKK was. I said, why are they here? What have we done? We're marching for a good thing. Why are they here? She said, baby, I don't know. Well, who are the other group of people? He said, they're the black militia. I'm like, why are they here? We don't know. And I said, this could go bad. About that time, shouting started. There was chaos happening. And my mother says to me, we're going to continue marching. And I said, Mom, no, I don't want anything to happen to you. I'm scared. She's like, you're going to ride in the car, and I'll find you when we get to the festival. My mom shuts the door. Before she shuts the door, she says to me, this is why we're here, to show that unity is possible. And she shuts the door, disappears into the crowd, and I am freaking out on the inside. And the march starts again. The cars start rolling slowly behind, and we get to the festival. And we get to the festival, my mom finds me, and everything is fine, and it's going off without a hitch, although the KKK are still on one side and the black militia's on the other. And my mom finds me, and she says, I have an answer to your question. Why is the black militia here? And they said something to my mom that inspired the spoken word. They said, if you are here in the name of unity, we stand with you, undivided from the hate that the KKK is trying to spread with their presence. We stand firm with you. And they did. The festival went on. No one was hurt. And then about an hour later, the KKK, upset that their presence there did not stop what we were there for, and to show that unity is possible. What happened that day is two groups that operate in very different ways decided to stay. What they found is something that I categorize as profound. They discovered commonalities within racism's many tragedies. God promises beauty from ashes, and those ashes led them to see a world view through each other's glasses. We have all experienced fear and hurt. We have all doubted our worth. We have all felt the sting of injustice and been obliterated by judgment. We have all been burnt by lies and had tears fall from our eyes. We have all felt anger and disgust and been punched in the gut by mistrust. We have all had our hearts broken. We have all heard horrible words spoken. I'm not saying that racism doesn't exist. What I am saying is that the author of racism is often overlooked or completely missed. And to disguise himself, he baits us with offense. It's actually pretty crafty because we think it's each other that we're battling, when really, it's the enemy that we're grappling. Racism is just a label that the enemy uses to spin his classic fables. He comes to rob, kill, and destroy. What other tactics has racism deployed? It has robbed joy. It has destroyed. It has killed. And we all can agree that innocent blood has been spilled. The enemy wants to conquer by creating a divide, because the power of love through unity, even he can't deny. So, how do we battle this evil? My answer might actually surprise you because it's quite simple. Love. Perfect love casts out all fear.
Come on.
That means that the history of wrongs needs to be cleared. Love doesn't become easily angered. And through love, honoring each other then becomes the standard. Love is protective, always seeking a truthful perspective. Love is more powerful than any earthly force because it comes straight from the most heavenly source. As I reflect on that day, there are a few lessons that I took away. Through unity, our path was revealed. And then, although hate became real, the enemy could not have his way because God's triumph won the day. Let us stand undivided, deciding that the enemy's schemes are uninvited. Let unity through love be ignited.
Come on.